Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, March 25th. I'm Patricia Villone.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, customers, employees, and the local food and commercial workers union want some answers. For nearly 2 years, there have been talks of selling off Shoppers grocery stores across the region. CTV's Janine Samuels is in Largo with the latest.
Where am I going to go to shop?
While the rumors have been circulating for close to 2 years, some loyal customers like Virginia White are just hearing of the news.
When I first heard of it, which was yesterday, I said, what? I said, I'm going there tomorrow and I'm going to ask the question, when are you all supposed to be doing this and why?
White, like many others, depend on the lower prices offered at Shoppers.
I like Giant, I like Safeway, but their prices are a little higher.
Giant has taken over a few of the Shoppers locations in the region, but there's still no word about the remaining grocery stores.
They should at least communicate more about what's going to happen. If they shut this place down, then that's going to be devastating to most people because a lot of people come here and they shop.
Customers of Shoppers, like the one here in Largo, Maryland, are not the only people left in the dark about the sell-off and potential closing of the stores. The employees and the union that represents them also want answers. The president of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union wrote and publicly posted a letter to the Shoppers parent company, in part stating, Local 400 demands that you provide us with information about these reported store sales immediately.
This is all born out of frustration because we've been kept in the dark for too long. And all our folks ever did was get up and go to work every day. And the thanks they get should not be being kept in the dark about their livelihoods and the jobs that they've done for so long.
Now, according to Federici, while this is a state and national issue, Prince George's County may be disproportionately affected by the decision, given the county's 12 Shoppers grocery stores. Reporting in Largo, I'm Janine Samuels for CTV News.
And Federici also told us that the sell-off or the closing of Shoppers in the county will impact more than 1/3 of the 2,000 employees that it represents.
And the long-awaited Mueller report looking into Russian interference during the 2016 presidential election is out. In his summary, Attorney General William Barr says the report shows there was no collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign. The report also indicates there were multiple offers from Russian-affiliated individuals to assist the Trump campaign. The report left unanswered whether Trump obstructed justice, concluding the evidence does not exonerate the president. Barr wrote in his letter to lawmakers. Political science Professor William Lewis had this to say about the report.
Well, right now, the interpretation of the report is based on just Mr. Barr and Rosenstein to a limited extent. But it's going to be subject to various interpretations when the full report is out.
Meantime, President Trump speaks out on the Mueller report. He says, quote, it was a complete and total exoneration. Residents in Greenbelt are reacting to the report as well.
I don't feel the president has been exonerated. I just feel they haven't found enough evidence to completely bill it as a conspiracy or a collusion. But those are different things.
In other news tonight, the U.S. Supreme Court is slated to hear oral arguments in a high-stakes legal battle over political boundaries, also known as gerrymandering. The case centers around Maryland's 6th District and whether Democrats violated the Constitution when they reconfigured district lines. The lawsuit, first filed by Republicans, claims Democrats infringed on their rights to congressional representation. In November, a federal district court barred the state from using its redistricting plan after the 2018 election. Maryland's Attorney General appealed that ruling to the Supreme Court. Well, no federal hate crime charges will be filed against Sean Urbanski, the man accused of murdering a U.S. Army lieutenant at the University of Maryland in May 2017. Now, the FBI says it did not find enough evidence to charge him with a federal crime, but Urbanski still faces state charges for the first-degree murder of Richard Collins III, as well as a hate crime charge in Maryland. He faces life in prison without parole for the first-degree murder charge and an additional 20 years for if convicted of a state hate crime.